students. Today we will discuss how easily we can solve any problems based on dihybrid cross. Okay? And I know by the end of this video, you will be able to understand the tips which are given to you all, and based on that you will be able to solve any problem which is asked for any exams. But in order to solve these problems, we have to follow certain tips, and that is very important. The first one is read and understand the problem properly. Each problem will have its own sub-questions, and based on those sub-questions, we have to know what exactly we have to find or solve in the given problem. The second one is to check for the trait that is mentioned. Okay, which is the trait or which is the characteristic which is mentioned in that problem. Another thing is with respect to trait is that there will be the two traits which will be mentioned. If it was monohybrid cross, usually one trait is asked or one characteristic is asked and their forms. Whereas for dihybrid cross, there will be two traits that will be mentioned with their contrasting forms. Okay. Third is, once we came to know what is the trait that is mentioned in the problem, we have to see which contrasting form is the dominant one and which one is the recessive. Okay. And once we came to know that the respective characteristic is the dominant one, we have to see that we will assign the alphabet, okay, which will be capital for the dominant, and the recessive will have the small letter or the lower case with respect to that particular characteristic. Okay, and this we have already learnt in monohybrid cross problems. Then we have to see whether the traits or the contrasting forms which have been asked are homozygous or heterozygous. Homozygous means there will be pair of alleles or pair of genes which will be of similar kind, right? Whereas heterozygous, there will be dissimilar pair of genes. Okay? And then we have to start solving our problem. So we should know when we start with the problem, all these tips we have to keep in our mind. Okay? Also we will see that when we solve any problem, what are the again next tips which we have to see upon. Okay? I have taken few examples or few problems based on which we will be solving these questions today. Okay? So in pea seeds, round shape is dominant over wrinkled. Right? So here they are discussing about a trait, that is seed shape. And yellow color is dominant over green. The second trait will be the seed color. Right? So we will mention it, that seed shape, and second one is seed color. Right? Now in seed shape, we know that round is dominant over wrinkled. Right? And seed color, yellow is dominant over green. Okay, so we have got two contrasting forms of both the trait. So since round is dominant over wrinkled, the next step what we have to do? We have to assign the alphabet, right? So this will be capital R since it is dominant. So first letter we have to take. Whereas for wrinkled, I will use small r. Lower case of same alphabet, right? For yellow, I will take capital Y since Y is the first letter of this characteristic, and for green, I will take small y, right? Now we know that alleles will be always in pair form. So how I will write? Either since it is dominant, it will be capital R, or capital R, small r. So it can be homozygous or it can be heterozygous. Whereas wrinkled will be always small r, small r. We should also remember here that any recessive characteristic will be always homozygous. It cannot be heterozygous. Similarly, for yellow, it will be capital Y or capital Y, small y. Right? Homozygous or heterozygous. And green, it will be always small y. Right? So, we already know that yellow is dominant over green and round is dominant over wrinkled. So, now we will read the question. If the plant is heterozygous to both seed shape and color, are crossed with the plant homozygous dominant for both the traits. Okay, we'll read it once again. If the plant's heterozygous to both seed shape and color. So what I will take here, it will be capital R, small r, since it is heterozygous for seed shape. So it will be definitely capital R, small r, and color, heterozygous for the other trait, that is color. So it will be capital Y, small y, right? Because we have to take heterozygous. So since it is heterozygous, definitely it will be the dominant one. Crossed with homozygous dominant for both the traits. Homozygous dominant. So dominant are these two. Okay, and it is homozygous. So it will be capital R, capital Y, capital Y. Okay. So we have already got the plants which we are supposed to cross. Then what is the question that is asked? What would be the phenotypes obtained in F1 generation? So our question is, what would be the phenotypes? So we have to find out in F1 generation what phenotypes we will get. And second, derive the genotypic ratio. So next is genotypic ratio. So these are the two questions which we are supposed to find out the answer. Okay. So these are the parents. Right. So since we have already mentioned here the heterozygous, one is heterozygous parent, another one is homozygous. So we should always write down the genes or the characteristics which are mentioned in the parents. So it will be heterozygous, round and yellow seeded plants crossed with homozygous, round and yellow seeded plants. So this heterozygous and homozygous we have to mention when we are doing any particular, solving any particular problem. Okay. So we have already got the parents. I have already said if it is homozygous dominant, then it will be only the dominant characteristic which we have to take. If it is mentioned heterozygous, then also it will be the dominant one. Okay. No matter in the problem whether it is mentioned or not. Okay. Well, if it is dominant or recessive, if it is not mentioned, still we will come to know that if it is heterozygous, it will be the dominant one. Okay. So next will be the gametes. Now, our last video we had discussed regarding the gametes, how we can find out from the heterozygous plants. Again, we will just recall those tips. Okay. So there are two ways by which we can find any possible gametes. Okay. And we should remember that each gamete will receive half the number of alleles. That means 50% of alleles will be present in the gamete. But since we are discussing here regarding the two characteristics or two traits, then in each gamete there will be 50% of the allele from that of parental representing both the characteristics. That means what? In each gamete there will be one R and one Y. Okay? That means both the characteristic it is there, and that too they are 50% from that of parent. Okay? So there are two ways by which we can find any possible gametes from that plant. Okay. So for example, we will take this characteristic capital R, small r. That means I have already segregated these two alleles, right? Then I will segregate capital Y and small y, okay? In such a way that these two letters, capital Y and small y, will represent one capital R, and again capital Y, small y will represent other small r, okay? And then possible gametes we have to find out. So one will be capital R, capital Y. That means the gamete which have one capital R will also have capital Y. So there are both the characteristic they are representing. Then a gamete can have capital R, small y, small r, capital Y, small r, small y. So we have got altogether 4 possible gametes, right? So other than these gametes, there is no other possibility which we can get the some different kind of gametes. So these are the 4 possible gametes. So this is one way which I had already discussed in the inheritance of 2 genes. But there is one more very easy way by which we can find these gametes, okay? What we can do is, we will segregate all these alleles, okay? Say for example, capital R, capital Y, small y. I have segregated all these alleles, okay? And then I will find the possible gametes. So, capital R, I will join with capital Y. So, one gamete, capital R, same capital R, joined with small y, another gamete, then small r, capital Y, third gamete, and small r, small y will be the 4th gamete. So, if you see here, the 4 gametes, and here it is the same gametes which we have got, okay? There is no other possible ways by which we can get the gametes, okay? So, since I feel this is the method which is good, okay, so that we can find the any possible gametes very easily, so I will follow this technique, okay? So, what we have got the gametes as capital R, capital Y, capital R, small y, small r, capital Y, small r, small y. So, these are the 4 gametes of this parent, right? So, what are the gametes that will be formed from the other parent? Again, I will segregate capital R, capital Y, capital Y. So, if we see here, I will get all similar type of gametes. That is capital R and capital Y. So, all the gametes, 4 I have got, but all are similar kind. Okay. So, what I will do, I will take only one gamete, since all the other gametes are exactly similar to each other. Okay. So, what I will do, I will take only one gamete. We can take all the 4 gametes, but in F1 generation, when we find out the genotype, same type of offspring we would obtain. So, better to use only one gamete when there are similar gametes are formed from each parent. So, this will be capital R, capital Y. Okay. So, I have mentioned only one because they are similar kind. And then we have to find out the F1 generation. Okay. So, how to find out the F1 generation? We already know that how Punnett squares are prepared, right? There will be columns and then there will be rows. Okay, I'll just show you all how we can find out the gametes. Now, once we have got the gametes, we know that Punnett square is supposed to be prepared. So, this is the Punnett square which I have prepared for this problem. Okay, what I have done? I have taken the 4 gametes of one parent, okay, and I have written them on the top of the column, right? One side I have written. Whereas the one gamete which I am taking from the other parent, I have written in the left hand side of the row, okay. So, what will happen? We will get this type of pattern of Punnett square. So, it is always better that if more gametes are there, we have to always write on the column side, and if few gametes we will assign in the left hand side of the rows. Okay. So this is the Punnett square, and this way only we are supposed to prepare for the other problems also. Okay. Now how the gamete fusion will take place. Now this gamete, okay, will fuse with the gamete of the other parent. Okay, this is one parent, this is the other parent. Okay, heterozygous and homozygous. How we will write down? We have to write down in such a way that both the alphabets, similar alphabets will be taken together. So it will be capital R, capital Y, capital Y. We won't write R, Y. We will write R, Okay, so this way we have to follow, otherwise it will create confusion. Okay, so same gamete will fuse with the other, okay, second gamete, then third gamete, and then fourth gamete. So this way we are supposed to find out the genotypes, okay, and the offsprings that we would get is these. Okay, accordingly we have to write down, and based on the Punnett square, okay, and the genotypes which we will get, based on that we will get the phenotypic ratio or phenotypes as well as genotypic ratio and genotypes. Okay, so we'll see on the screen what will be the answer, because we know that we have to find out the phenotypes and genotypic ratio. We have also understood how we have to write down the gametes, okay, and also we have seen how Punnett square should be prepared. Okay, so these are the parents, okay, heterozygous and homozygous. These are the gametes. Gametes are written here, and at the left hand side those are the lesser number of gametes which we are getting from the other parent, we are writing here, and these are the male gamete or female gamete. So these are the symbols which we should always remember to put. Okay, so if you see here in each squares, okay, the possible genotypes which we have got, everywhere it is capital R, capital Y, capital R, capital Y, and in the other squares too. Okay, indicates what? That all are the offsprings which are having round and yellow seeds. So we should remember, even if there is one capital R and one capital Y, as it is shown here, it indicates it is round and yellow seeded plant. Okay, so the phenotypic ratio or phenotypes which we would get here is all are round and yellow seeded plants. Where a genotypic ratio will be 1:1:1:1. Because if we see here, genotypes are different from each other. Okay, no one is similar here. So therefore genotypic ratio will be 1:1:1:1. Okay. So that was about first problem. Now we'll see about the second problem. Let me tell you that I have taken same traits, okay, so that it will be able to understand very clearly. So I have taken seed shape as well as seed color in pea plants. So I won't repeat it again because it is based on these two traits only all the other problems we shall be solving today. Likewise, there are different traits which are there on which same method you have to use, and you will be solving those problems. Okay. So we'll see what is given to us. The question says, if the plants heterozygous to both seed shape and color. That means heterozygous I will take capital R, capital Y, small y, since it is heterozygous. Were crossed with the plants homozygous round. Okay, were crossed with the plant homozygous round will be capital R, and heterozygous yellow seeds. Little different from the previous one. Yes. So capital Y, small y. So here we have taken homozygous round and heterozygous yellow seeded plant. Okay. So I have to mention here that it is heterozygous yellow and round seeded plants crossed with homozygous. Okay, as I said, it is important. Round and heterozygous yellow seeded plants. Right? So these are our parents, okay, which we are supposed to cross. So what will be the gametes here? Gametes we already know. of heterozygous condition, altogether there are 4 gametes. So we will come to know that even for heterozygous, it is sure that 4 gametes will be formed. Okay, when they are heterozygous characteristic for both the trait. Okay, so it will be capital R, capital Y, capital R, small y, small r, capital Y, small r, small y. 4 gametes. Now what about these? Okay, so we'll just see, we'll separate all these alleles or genes, capital R, capital R, capital Y, small y, and then we'll assort them. Okay, we usually use the term assort because they are coming together, right? They get separated independently and then they get assorted. So capital R, capital Y, one gamete we have got, capital R, small y, then capital R, capital Y, capital R, small y. So if you see here, these 2 gametes are similar to other 2 gametes. So what I will do, I will take any 2 gametes, right, which are different from each other. So which one I will take? Capital R, capital Y, capital R, small y, because other 2 gametes are also similar kind. Okay, so I will take capital R, capital Y and capital R, small y. Okay, so here we have to remember that Punnett square when we are making. So there will be 4 gametes, okay, on the column side, okay, at the top of the column, and 2 gametes will be at the left hand side. Okay, so we have to see the number of gametes that are there. Accordingly, Punnett square should be prepared. Okay, the question that is asked here, it is what will be the phenotypic and genotypic ratio that would be obtained in F1 generation. So we'll see on the screen itself. So here the parents and the gametes that are mentioned, right? So in F1 generation, we would get the possible genotypes like this. Okay. Now if you see here, now we have to find out the phenotypic and genotypic ratio. Phenotypes, we know that is the observable characteristic. So if we see here, capital R, capital Y, here also there is capital R, capital Y. So likewise, if you see, there are altogether 6 offsprings with capital R and capital Y. Indicates that there are 6 offspring with round and yellow seeded plants, right? Whereas there are 2 with capital R, small y. Here also there is capital R, small y. That means there are 2 offsprings with round and green seeded plant. So the phenotypic ratio would be 6:2. Now what about genotypic ratio? When we speak about genotypic ratio, it is completely different from the previous problem. It is 1:2:1:2:1:1. How is it so? So we have to see each and every allele. Okay, here. So capital R, capital R, capital Y, capital Y. And then we have to check whether same type of genes or alleles are present in other squares or not. So if we see here, there is only 1. So I can write down first one as 1. Okay. And as and when we write down and when we see that there are different types of genotypes which are present, we have to see that we'll just make a cross indicating that we have already written about that cross. Okay, we have already analyzed. So I'll make a cross indicating that I have already written that one. Now if you see capital R, capital R, capital Y, small y. Here also capital R, capital Y, small y. So there are 2 offsprings with this genotype. So I have written 2 here, because same type are not present in the other squares. Next is 1. Capital R, small r, capital Y, capital Y. So if you see here, there is nowhere else such type of genes that are mentioned. So it will be 1. So I'll make a cross. So we have got 1:2:1 at present. Next is capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. So if you see here, there are 2 offsprings of same genotype, right? So I have mentioned it as 2. Again, I will make a cross. That means we have finished with these offspring. Now what is remaining here is this. Capital R, small y, small y. So it is not the similar kind. So both are 1:1. So all together when we see here, we will get the ratio 1:2:1:2:1:1. Okay, so it is simple way by which we can write down or find out the phenotypic or genotypic ratio. Okay. The third problem says this. The plant with homozygous round and heterozygous yellow seeds. Now they are mentioning the traits too. Okay, they have not said shape or color. Okay, they have just mentioned, they have mentioned what exactly it is, whether it is round or wrinkled, whether it is yellow or green. Okay, so there will be some problems wherein direct question will be asked. Okay, you don't have to think much about it. Okay, so we'll see the plants with homozygous round and heterozygous yellow seeds were crossed with the plant having heterozygous round and homozygous yellow seed. So I'll write down on the board. So it is given that there is homozygous round and heterozygous yellow seeds. So if we know here, very important part, that we should remember whether it is homozygous or heterozygous that is mentioned in the problem. Okay, because if you do any mistake here, then full problem will be the wrong. Okay, so the answer also what you will get will be completely different from that of original one which we were supposed to get. So we have to see that what exactly is being asked. So in this question it is said plants with homozygous round. So homozygous round means capital R and heterozygous yellow seeds. So heterozygous yellow, capital Y, small y, since it is the heterozygous one. It's crossed with the plant having heterozygous round. So capital R, small r, okay, and homozygous yellow seeds, capital Y, small y, okay. So the question is asked, what would be the phenotypes that would be obtained, and second, derive the genotypic ratio. So again we have to find out the gametes here. So gametes would be, now since we know that this is completely different types of combination that is been asked, so again we will find out the gametes, possible gametes which you would get. So we will separate these alleles, capital R, capital Y, small y, and then assort them. So capital R, capital Y, one gamete, capital R, small y, other gamete, capital R, capital Y, and capital R, small y. So these are the four gametes that are obtained, but we already know that these two are similar to that of the other two. So I will take only two gametes. Okay. So it will be capital R, capital Y, one gamete, and capital R, small y. So one thing you will see here, if suppose there is one homozygous and another one is heterozygous trait that is asked, we will get two dissimilar kinds of gamete. When there is the heterozygous condition for both the characteristic, we are getting four gametes. Here we are getting two gametes, right? Similarly for this, I will again separate it out, capital R, capital Y, small y, and assort them, capital R, capital Y, capital R, capital Y, small r, capital Y, small r, capital Y. Okay. So again we see here, these two are similar and these two are similar. So I will take one gamete from these gametes and one from the other. Okay. So the gametes of this plant will be capital R, capital Y, small r, capital Y. Right? Okay. So these similar gametes we should take. So accordingly now Punnett square will be prepared. So we'll see on the screen. So these are the gametes which are observed, right, of both the parent. So here F1 generation would be, the Punnett square will look something like this. Okay. So we have to find out what are the phenotypes and genotypic ratio. So if you see here capital R, capital Y, here also capital R, capital Y, capital R, capital Y, capital R, capital Y. That means phenotypes here will be all round and yellow seeded plants. And genotypic ratio will be, again, since all the 4 offsprings are different from each other genotypically, so therefore it will be 1:1:1:1. Okay. Now the last problem which we will see, if the plants with heterozygous round. So heterozygous round means it will be capital R, small r, and yellow seeds. That means both are heterozygous, capital Y, small y, are crossed with the plants having homozygous round, that is capital R, and green seeds. So here green seeds, when we are discussing, that means it is the recessive trait which they have asked. Okay, so it will be what? Small y, small y. So we will see now what will be the phenotypic or phenotypes that would be obtained, and also genotypic ratio. Okay. So it is asked that plants with heterozygous round. So I will write capital R, small r, and yellow seed. So capital Y, small y. Both are heterozygous parents that are crossed with the plant having homozygous round. So definitely I will write down capital R, and green seeds. So green seeds, it is small y, right? So we have to cross these plants. So I have to mention here that it is heterozygous, round and yellow seeded plants crossed with homozygous, round and green seeds. Okay. So what will be the gametes obtained? We already know it is heterozygous for both the trait. So it will be capital R, capital Y, capital R, small y, small r, capital Y, small r, small y. Okay, 4 gametes. We have already discussed about it. So here, what will be the gametes? I'll just separate it, all the alleles. So we see that all the gametes will be having capital R, small y. So what I will do, since all are the similar gametes, what I will do, I will take only one, capital R, small y. So another tip which we have got, when both the traits are homozygous, whether it may be capital R, capital Y, or it may be small r, small y, or this condition, we will see that all the gametes that are formed from those plants will be of similar kind. So here we have to take only one gamete. Okay. So these are the gametes which we have got. So now we'll see on the screen what will be the F1 generation. Okay. So if we see here, there are 2 offsprings with capital R, capital Y, right? And there are other 2 offspring with capital R, small y. Indicates that there are 2 plants with round and yellow seeds and 2 plants with round and green seeds. So what will be the phenotypic ratio here? It will be 2:2. Yes or no? 2 round and yellow seeded plant and 2 round and green seeded plant. And genotypic ratio would be again 1:1:1:1. Why? Because all the genotypes are different from each other, right? So I hope by this problems, definitely you will understand it and you will be able to answer any problems that are given to you. Okay, it is very easily, follow the tips which I have mentioned, and here we have taken only 2 traits, that is seed shape and seed color in pea seeds. There are many animals as well as plants on which the different kinds of traits that will be asked for any exam. Okay, so you should know that what are the traits that have been asked and whether it is homozygous or heterozygous. If you know these tips, basically you'll be able to answer any problem. Okay, so I hope you all have understood these problems which are explained today. Thank you very much.